it'd just be easier if you. But I appreciate dinner, and
I get it. Okay.
No, it's not like that.
I get it.
No, it seriously isn't. No, I mean, I don't.
Man pays for dinner.
Worst first date ever. He would not get off his phone when I got there. He even brought his baby that he didn't tell me about.
Hi guys, so clearly I cope through humor. My ex and I had one thing in common. We both like wieners.
Welcome back. My name is Renee, and this is Highly Motivated, a channel where we check out different things that I find interesting, and hopefully you will too. Today, we are hopping back into the dumpster fire that we call modern dating. And if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and like this video. And without further ado, let's get right into it. First up, we have this lady describing her worst Tinder date ever.
What's the worst Tinder date you've ever been on?
Okay, so one time this guy told me to come to Queens at 1 a.m.
Ew.
I got on
First mistake.
LIRR. I opened the door. His apartment's a disaster. He's ginormous too. He's like 7 feet tall. He takes me to his room.
Right away, he's ready.
Right away. He gives me a double bottle of red wine, one of the barefoot things.
Ew.
He then puts on an entire like Ryan Gosling movie. We watched the whole thing.
Did anything happen after?
No, I fell asleep because I drank half the bottle. I had to Uber home at 6 a.m. He also had 2 giant cats that stunk and lived in his room with the litter boxes as well.
Yikes.
Today I went on a date and I left after I walked past him. But it's not what it sounds like. Okay, I'm gonna start at the beginning. So we met on Hinge, but instead of like matching and then chatting for a little while, he just immediately sent me this message, which obviously made it sound like it was copied and pasted, but it was like, hey, Megan, I'm not super into messaging back and forth, but if you want to like get together, meet at a coffee shop and go from there, like I'm down if you are. And I was like, I just like sassy or whatever, and then like eventually I was like, fine, I'll meet up. And so I agreed to go downtown to get coffee, even though I don't live downtown, and 2, I don't even drink coffee, but like it's a thing people do, so I was like, okay, I'll get tea.
I feel like I've been
So
on
I
this
walk
date.
into Public Coffee Roasters. If you live in Salt Lake, you know what it is. It has 2 stories. As I get there, I'm on time, and I have a message from him. He was a few minutes early. He says, I'm upstairs. So I immediately walk upstairs, and there are many men with hats on looking down at phones or books or whatever, and I've only seen a picture of this guy, so like honestly, like usually I like walked really slow, and I like kind of like I walked the entire upstairs, and I like walked slow by tables that had men alone, and like if you're waiting for somebody to come meet you, you should look up and be paying attention and like tell me where you're sitting, because I was not sure, and I didn't want to like disturb some man having a good time. So I walked back downstairs. So as I walked downstairs, I messaged him and I was like, hey, like I honestly don't know who's who upstairs. Like, were you maybe the one with the hat reading a book? I'm going downstairs to get a tea. So I go downstairs, I get a tea, I wait for my tea, it's got to steep for like 4 minutes, and then I sit downstairs because I'm like, I'm not gonna disturb somebody if I don't know it's them. It's like kind of embarrassing, and also whatever. So I message him again on Hinge, and I say, hey, like there's a bunch of men upstairs. Nobody looked up when I walked by, and like I honestly like I can't tell who's who. Like help me out here. And then I wait 15 minutes. We were supposed to meet at 11. I waited until 11:15, drank my entire tea, and I was like, honestly, I'm gonna leave.
Right.
So I leave, and I'm like screaming because I think it's so rude. Like, did he just think I was 15 minutes late? Or did he just forget he was meeting somebody? So anyways, I get to my car, and he's like, oh, yes. Sorry, my bad. Here's my number. You can text if it helps. It's like, I messaged you 15 minutes ago. Just come find me. Or like, help me find you. So anyways, you can pause and read our interaction here. Basically,
Okay, hold on. What does this say? Also, if you would have been willing to send a few messages, you might have learned that one, I don't live downtown, so I was going out of my way, and two, I don't drink coffee. Did you think I was 15 minutes late, or did you just forget that you were trying to meet someone? What an absolute waste of time. And he just does face plant. Okay.
Apologized afterwards, but I don't know. I was really pissed earlier. Now this feels dramatic.
I mean, if you're meeting somebody, you're like sitting there looking for them, waiting for them. I don't know, maybe it was an excuse. Maybe he saw you walk by or saw her walk by and wasn't interested and then tried to play it off. I don't know, 15 minutes if you're sitting in a coffee shop waiting for somebody that you're supposed to be having a date with is an awful long time to not be checking for messages, or it's just, yeah, it seems like you wanted an excuse. Let me know what you think. This man is reviewing Facebook dating. Apparently it fails.
So a lot of people been telling me, if you want to find you a good fish, go to Facebook dating and you will find you some. Let me show y'all what the fuck I found. Look at this profile. I'm mean in caps. So don't expect a friendly ass with me. Okay, second sentence. I'm from Philly, which is stated right there. So don't ask me where I'm from and I'm a vibe over here. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. That's not no vibe, baby. I'm scared. Who wants to approach somebody like that?
Okay, I'm gonna say this maybe a lot more times, but at least one time today. Men do not want to date women who act like men. If they did that, they would just date men, and they would not be heterosexual. So, be soft and feminine. That's our job.
I just want to rant real quick because I am so tired of having to explain myself when I say that I want to be married and have children. Not eventually, like right now. I don't want to work. I have a job right now. I work my ass off because I have to, because I'm independent and have bills to pay, but I want to be married and have children. And that is not an unnatural thing to want in my early 20s. Biologically, I am meant to have children now. This is the most fertile I'm ever going to be in my entire life. I don't know when the entire Western society became brainwashed to think that that is unnatural. That is the most natural. My purpose, my job on earth, my calling in my soul. I long to find somebody who will protect and provide for me while I bear children for him. I shouldn't have to explain that to every single person that I say this out loud to. You're the one who's wrong here. I just want to be a natural feminine woman. Apparently there's no place for me in this world anymore.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. And where do I find one like her for my 20-year-old son? But no, seriously, women were sold a lie by very powerful people who don't want us recreating. Signs I missed that my ex was gay.
Hi guys, so clearly I cope through humor. My ex and I had one thing in common.
Fair enough.
We both like wieners. I almost never talk about this in a serious way because one, this was years ago, and although it took a lot of therapy, I am very happy now, and I had to waste just exactly that amount of time to meet my fiance and the love of my life. And two, although this man cheated, lied, and manipulated the fuck out of me for years, this is someone's sexuality that we're talking about. And even though I got dragged in and it's all part of my story, I want to clarify that like the sexuality part is not a joke. The joke is me and my delusion. Okay, so let's move on. So in the spirit of making fun of myself, here are the signs that I missed that my boyfriend of 6 years was gay. Starting us off strong here. He cheated on me with dudes. I feel like that's a pretty strong indicator, Anna. 2, he had a suspicious obsession with Avril Lavigne. Take that as you will. 3, he was a musical theater major. Don't laugh, you guys, okay? That was how we met, and we were in shows together, and you know what? My grandparents were middle school sweethearts, and they met performing on stage together, and they were together for like 60 years. Okay? Moving on. Number 4, he told me he preferred my hair in a bob. I suffered all of college with a fucking bob. I mean, no offense to my bob girlies who can actually rock it, but on this round facial structure, no. And let me ask you this, have you ever heard of a completely straight man exclusively liking bobs? Didn't think so. Next, the argument where I wanted him to be Hugh Hefner and he wanted to be the bunny. Yeah, that dispute happened in one way or another every year. Next, I am all for a confident king, but this man was obsessed with photos of himself, almost more than me, and I am a hoe for a good Instagram pic. I was fully his Instagram boyfriend, I don't want to talk about it. Next, everywhere we went, he was being hit on by other gay men. I mean, they kind of just knew, and I should have trusted that instead of getting upset and defensive. There was this one time I almost caused an absolute scene at the local IHOP because I was getting breakfast with him and all of my roommates, and the server left her number for him on our receipt. Or so I thought. Come to find out, she was just being a wing woman and leaving her male manager's number for him. I was so unhinged, I nearly burned that IHOP to the fucking ground. Not my proudest moment. As if all these things aren't very clear indicators, the last one was very clear. He told me that he did not like vaginas. He said that he thought it was gross, that it was like a hole that opens to your insides. I was like, yeah, bud, that's kind of like the whole concept of a vagina. Anyway, that gave me some fun sexual trauma and shame during my formative years. I will talk about this more seriously in another video because this situation really was one of the hardest things I've ever been through, and I know it really would have comforted me at the time seeing another woman come out of this on the other side happy, which I so am. I mean, look, I've got it so good. It all worked out. So stay tuned.
I mean, she had to have had like an inkling, and the fact that she said she got really defensive before, that was her being convicted by the truth. Like, she knew deep down that man was gay. I'm sorry. If every man, if the gays had the gaydar that he was gay, that should have been your first clue and biggest clue. This woman finally decided to go on a date, and he made me feel so uncomfortable.
Well, I really appreciate it. Should I cover my half or?
No, I got you.
You sure? Oh, thank you so much. It was delicious. But I'm going to probably head up because it's late and I have to get up early in the morning. So.
Well, can I walk you to your room?
I don't know if they allow if you're not staying in the room. It'd just be easier if you. But I appreciate dinner and
I get it. Okay.
No, it's not like that.
I get it.
No, it seriously isn't. No, I mean, I don't fuck.
Man pays for dinner.
I don't fuck on the first date, and I feel like you've been kind of like, you've been
that?
acting like it this entire time. Like,
all right, you just wanted a free meal.
No.
Understood.
First off, I have no problem paying for my own bill to avoid something like this.
Well, then go for it. Do it. Fuck it.
Are you serious right now?
Yep, just do it. Pay for your own bill.
You're a fucking asshole. Like, I have no problem.
Ew, what a cringy man. Like, you can't pay for a lady's dinner and then automatically assume that she's supposed to have relations with you. That's just gross. And a way to, like, seal the deal that you'll never get it. Like, worst first date ever.
Worst first date ever. He would not get off his phone when I got there. He even brought his baby that he didn't tell me about.
What are you gonna get to eat?
I think I'm gonna get the full rack of ribs.
Are you sure you don't want a salad?
No, I think I want the ribs. Well, if you forgot your wallet, you can just like Venmo me or Cash App me. That's fine.
I'm sorry, I don't have Cash App or Venmo.
Okay, well, like your bank account, you can just transfer the money to me.
Here you go.
I'm waiting for a check to pay.
And sorry, what was the last thing you asked me for?
A little container of carrots.
Oh, carrots. Yes, gotcha.
Well, honestly, I feel like you invited me here. Like, I feel like I shouldn't have to pay.
I thought you invited me.
Oh, ugh. Honey, you just been had. Now we have a clip from Matt Walsh.
It's just not true, okay? It's just not true that a life of obscene luxury and materialism and selfishness and self-service and of, sleeping with many different women and all of that. It's not true that that is the ideal. Much less is it what we are biologically programmed to desire. Right. No, it's what we're culturally programmed to desire. That is the cultural programming. If I could do my life over from the start, I would find my wife again and marry her again. If I lived 100 lives, I'd marry her in all of them. That's what it means to love somebody. And love is the ideal.
Amen. True love, real love is the ideal. A man and his wife and children that come from love. And I think that is what's missing. We have a lot of children that are born with single mothers, broken households. We have step parents who sometimes don't like their stepchildren. There are a lot of different family dynamics that didn't happen when there was marriage first, then children. And I mean, I definitely didn't know these things when I was younger. I definitely didn't live this when I was younger, and I wish that I would have found one real good partner. I wish I would have known what was a good partner, but we don't get to go back, and the learning is what makes us who we become. So
I submit to you in every aspect. When you get home, I take your boots off for you. Oh, I love doing that.
You are going to get so much hate for what you're about to say.
I do all the laundry in the house. I do the dishes. I cook. If you ask me to do something for the businesses, I say yes, sir, and I do it. And me calling you sir is my honey, my babe. And I was like, sir.
Stop. Next.
My next one is, I don't remember.
I feel like some people are going to hate that, and I love it because look how happy she was to submit to him, that he is a man who is good enough to submit to. And it's like, it brought her so much joy. It brought her to tears to be able to have a man that was worth submitting to. It's beautiful, really. That is all for today. Those were modern relationship and dating fails. Until next time, stay highly motivated.